Hi, I'm Betty Withrow, and today I'm going to interview Katrina Rogers with Move with Ease. And so, Katrina, thank you for agreeing to this interview. It's been delightful chatting with you beforehand.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, and it's a great opportunity to meet you and to start my morning.
Yeah, I agree. So tell me more about what you do and how you do it.
So I am a movement specialist with Move with Ease, which is my company name, and I work with individuals that are looking for a new way to bring health and fitness into their lives. Individuals that are looking to have a greater relationship with their bodies so that they can say yes to more physical activities in their lives with greater ease and more confidence. And, through that, so how do I do that? I really work with individuals to find what is it that they're really wanting for their life? Like, how do they envision themselves moving through the world? And finding a way for them to have that relationship. And so teaching them how does the body move and providing tools on how does the body align itself. So when we are moving, we understand that we're moving from a place of alignment, we're moving from a place of stability to have greater balance. And we're looking at their medical history, we're looking at their do they have any previous injuries? What are they currently working through? What is their current status of their medical conditions? And going through various procedures, like here's stretching, here's how to release tension in your body, and then progressing them through here's how to move. Here's just basic alignment. So what is your posture? Do you understand how your body should be stacked on top of itself? And adding more things and more exercises so they can incorporate that better to be able to achieve a greater physical life. And that's not just teaching them how to be better at lifting weights, but how do you actually move your body where you feel comfortable and confident moving your body, and that you're not going to have anything that's going to contribute to a reason why you say no to something.
Well, that's great because it's not just a workout. You're talking about mindset and mind-body integration, and also
Yep.
visualizing, which brings in the whole life concept. And so that's very admirable. And from talking with you earlier, I see that your vision for your clients is very comprehensive in that way, which makes your approach
Yep.
more advanced than a lot of the workout and training programs that are out there on the market.
Yeah, we really are looking at how do we have not only integrated movement and really understanding that our body doesn't move in isolation, it moves together, right? And so how do we have integrated movement that will produce the greatest, movement pattern? And right, and how do we overcome faulty movement patterns that have led to injuries, strains, poor posture, and really working on correcting that. So I add corrective work into that, along with movements that allow for greater flow, understanding the pull-push concept in our bodies, and then also looking at what is your mental state, what is your emotional state, what is your energetic state, and how does that play into how does your body support you in your life, in the things that you want to do, your goals, and how can you really learn to rely on that in that. And how do you move your own weight at any size, at any age? Your body is capable of really amazing things. And so teaching my clients that is really beneficial for the things that they actually want. My clients come in usually saying, oh, I want to lose weight, and that's because that's what they feel that they need to do. And I'll ask them why. Why do you want to lose weight, and why that specific number? Why not only the number do you want to lose, but why is the number you want to get to? So we start to have a relationship with understanding that numbers are arbitrary. We assign value to them, but most people really want a different lifestyle. They want a different way of existing in the world where they have a greater sense of freedom about them. Cool. Well, let's have a relationship with your body. Let's actually learn what our bodies can do. So you are able to understand what is the message that your body is trying to give you, whether that is a dietary perspective, whether that is, I need you to like shift in how you're holding yourself because this is uncomfortable. Helping people understand the difference between pain and discomfort, and the purposes of both of those elements in life, in healing. That discomfort is often where we sit and we associate that with pain. And pain is usually an indicator that something's not right, that something really needs to be addressed in some form or fashion. And understanding what does that even feel like in your body so we can address it and provide tools of how to get through it, right, and get the results that we're looking for. So a lot of people are stiff, and so they might have a little bit more knots in their shoulders. Okay, well, here's some exercises that will help you release those trigger points, release that stress from your body, and so it doesn't exasperate and become a more serious condition.
Great. Well, I love it, and thank you for this beautiful interview.
Yeah.
In the original interview idea, we were going to switch roles. So now I'd like to know what you'd like to know.
Yeah, absolutely, Betty. So what I really would love to know is, how did you, or how do you best serve your clients? What is that strength that you bring into what you do? What makes Betty Betty? And
Great. Oh, I love that question. So I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Betty Withrow of the Writers Launchpad, and it's a brand that I devised based on the number of rocket scientists in my family and the background of information flow that I learned from that. I decided at a certain point I would reclaim the power of everything, because rocket science isn't all fun and games. And so anyway, I said, okay, we're going to bring it back. And what makes Betty Betty is that I am a lifelong language person. I fell in love with the alphabet when I was 5, and I used to drag around the dictionary and like make a goal out of winning the spelling bee and diagram sentences for fun. I mean, I was a weirdo, okay? And then,
I think that's excellent, to fall in love with language, which has so much ability to bring us into fantasy and to dream and to, convey emotion. So you were tapped in super early on the benefits of language. I don't think that makes you weird. I think that makes you a superhero.
well, thank you. I believe that too. I know that I am a superhero because I began to see something that other people didn't see, and that made me feel like I was a weirdo. But I know that it's really because it's my superpower. And then my superpower was amplified when I encountered a mentor who I pushed myself through the language program. I majored in language, and then I had the incredible experience of being mentored by one of the great masters of the English language, who taught me advanced composition and rhetoric and gave me the tools of the inner power of language and the persuasive arts, and the spiritual abilities and consequences that go along with that are very powerful. So now I have really gotten into serving my clients using those tools to advance their messages. I do a lot of editing, and I write copy for businesses that is based on the goals of the business and making the language that's used in the presentation in alignment with the brand and with the needs of the people they serve. I've also just put together a training for business writing that I'm calling the 3 Golden Apples for Business Writing Success. And it's based on the principles that I learned in advanced composition and rhetoric brought into modern form so that you don't have to do all that heavy lifting. You don't have to drag all those books around and digest those classics and everything, because I did it. And I have had the privilege of making the realizations and bringing them into the modern world, because I know that we all need to have better positioning in the marketplace, and we need to make more money so that we can bring about the goals that we have for ourselves and our families. And I'm really happy that I know that what I'm providing can be a benefit to my clients.
So who's your ideal clientele?
My ideal client is a person who is very focused in what they do. They know what they want, and if it's a manuscript of some sort, that they have a lot of material developed and they're ready to move on. Like, okay, I have this great manuscript, and like, would somebody please finish the job for me?
Somebody that like started the process already.
Yeah, they've started the process, or they have, like they have very clear goals in mind for their business. I want to, for instance, have a blog and email campaign that's coherent and that fits together, and it goes with the branding of my website. And maybe they have a coaching program that they want to present, and they need some guidance and support in putting together stuff for it, like their slides and, coordinating that with their videos and that type of thing. That's the kind of stuff I really love, when I can create a wholeness. And the best part of editing for me is when the author realizes that their message is bigger than they realized, when they get that, oh, I thought this was just a book about this, but it's actually, the scope of my idea is much bigger, and my audience is bigger than I realized. And when they get that, and I feel them getting that, that's solid gold. I love that.
I bet it's a really amazing feeling for both parties involved to to actually take something and I think we have a habit of like being in this very narrow view, and then to have somebody like, oh, well, actually it's this big, and then you start to see all the possibilities, which then ignites excitement and passion and this drive to want to stay with it.
Right. And yeah, exactly. And that's the kind of support that getting into a relationship with a writing professional can provide, because you're putting this together with yourself and your self-knowledge and identity. And then, like you said, it tends to narrow the concept in your own mind, because then the self-talk can come in and start to interfere with your messaging ability. And when someone else is able to take that load off of you and go, oh God, this is great, all it needs is some polish up here and there, and and a little guidance on directing the concept, then the person is freed from that burden, and they can start to see their own brilliance, which is that's like I said, that's the magic of it.
Yay. How do people find you?
That's thewriterslaunchpad.com.
Excellent.
It has all my my spiel, my services, my media links, my blog, and so on. And how do they find you, Katrina?
You can find me online at www.mwenow.org. So movewithesenow.org. So mwenow.org. You can also find me on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page, Move With Ease.
Okay.
So both of those are options. We do also have an Instagram, Movement Through Life. But all of that, you can definitely want people to go really through the website. Tons of information, resources. We just rebranded, so we're adding more resources every day, more services. So keep checking there. That would definitely be the place to go. You can book appointments with me, send emails if you have any questions.
Great. Great. How awesome. I love what you do. I love the concepts that you're putting forward of life wholeness through moving with better ease. That's really all about. Well, all right. Well, thank you. And I'm gonna hit pause on the recording so we can continue our conversation.
Yeah, perfect.
Delightful. Yeah. Here we go.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.